type of funds as functional and Kenyans can access. If they are not functional, just be honest and tell us either one or two are functional.
Now that the president told us that if we remove that capping, that if all of us pay according to our abilities, we will end the specter of harambes to raise money for healthcare in this country. Can the cabinet secretary standing here before the Senate today confirm to us that there is no family in this country that has planned a harambe for this weekend to get payment for a loved one to obtain health care?
We have now increased, registration is now up almost 3 times the population that was covered previously. So great progress when, Senator Sifuna, as you said, there's great progress when we talk about the number of people that have been registered and the number of people that can access primary health care. We are having, up to 3 times more that can be able to access. And then when we come to registration and being able to access services in higher levels of care, we are looking to ensure that there's improved contribution.
Still in the health sector, the Council of Governors Health Committee Chairperson, Governor Muthomi Njuki, wants private hospitals to be patient with the government as he implores upon them to drop their strike and continue engaging on the pending payments. Governor Njuki says even the country running health facilities or counties running health facilities are undergoing the same challenges but have not thrown in the towel despite the challenges being faced. The governor, who spoke in Naivasha at an ongoing county executive committee members of health meeting, said there were huge debts owed to both private and public facilities, but that should not be the reason for patients to be abandoned at a time of need. Responding to RUFA, who have been on strike, Governor Njuki insisted talks remained the key to unlocking the impending issues.
Yeah.
We have refused to let the NHF rest in peace because it still has debt obligations. Therefore, many of us, and when I say us, I mean Kenyans, including the private hospitals, have been praying for it not to completely die. Because, sometimes you can go for a funeral and when people are crying, you are just complaining, how can this guy die with my debt? When people are mourning, you are wondering, how will I get my money back? That is where we are with most facilities who are owed money by NHF. In fact, we are one of those people, the 47 counties. We were owed 12 million. The NHF proposed that they have paid and they are now at 9 million. But when you talk to counties, when we take the debt obligations they have, we are still around between 10 and 12 billion that we are owed by SHA. Yet, we are still providing services without downing our tools. In fact, you look at 12 billion in public sector, and in public sector, for you to accumulate debt of 12 billion, if you have in mind what we normally charge in our facilities, minimum, the claim that we normally make, as compared to the health sector, the private sector, who say they are owed, is it 22 billion? Around 22 billion. The most aggrieved in all sense should be the public sector. Yet, we are still providing services despite this debt. Some of them will tell you it's because we are still financed by Exchequer, but you can't tell those people who are seated here that because you know how much you struggle to raise your own source, even from those hospitals.
The Nairobi County Government and Kenya Power have agreed to end their long-running dispute following a high-level meeting convened by Head of Public Service Felix Koskei. The meeting, which brought together Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja and the Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi, sought to settle commercial disputes between the two entities emanating from over 4.9 billion shillings in unpaid way leave fees owed to the county by Kenya Power. Speaking to the press outside City Hall, Sakaja explained how the situation unfolded and led to a tense relationship between the two entities.
We agreed that those commercial disputes, us saying you owe us this, them saying you owe us this, are going to be resolved between myself and the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Opio Wandai. And if need be, the Intergovernmental Technical Relations Committee will also come, to resolve that. The law is clear that this ICT infrastructure on way lifts are supposed to be paid to the county. What happened is at some point, Kenya Power offered them their backbone for them to put on top, and they pay Kenya Power, but they don't pay us. We've also spoken to the ISPs and the telcos yesterday. We're going to be meeting them to also tell them how they can be further compliant, because they want to just provide a service. And it's unfortunate, when you disconnect the internet, there are businesses, there's even schools that are connected to fiber and they don't get access. It's really unfortunate. It's nothing that we like to do.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has challenged the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to declare his political stand just a day after the former Premier met President William Ruto at State House in Mombasa and announced that he would consult his supporters before outlining his political roadmap.
Siyatumwelewi Raila Odinga, na nimesema juzi nilikuwa na interview. Hatujui vile anataka. Na tunangojea atoe msimamo ndio tujue vile tutakaa na yeye. Kama ataamua kuchafua legacy yake ya miaka hii yote na kuunga Rais William Ruto mkono, hiyo ni haki yake na sisi hatuwezi mzuia. Lakini hiyo haina shida yote, kwa sababu zile kura alikuwa nazo ndani yake iko kura mingi sana ya Kalonzo Musyoka. Hiyo itakuwa imeondoka. Pale Kisii imeondoka. Pale kwa Mlima alikuwa na kura 1.1 imeondoka. Kwa hivyo hakuna kitu kubwa sana atapelekea Rais William Ruto. Number 2, huyu Rais William Ruto amewachwa na kila mtu. Kanisa ambaye ziliunga yeye mkono zimemuondokea. Watu ya Mlima tuliunga yeye mkono 3.5 million tumeondoka. Watu wako na payslip. Hao wafanyikazi wote wakiwemo nyinyi wanalalamika sana. Kila mtu ya payslip na payslip holders ni karibu 3.5 million wamemuondokea rais. Hii watoto wetu wa Gen Z ambaye watachukua kura karibu 9 million hawako na yeye.
Interesting that Gachagua has addressed the media 2 days consecutively from various channels, which begs the question, what is the end goal? Catherine Akinyi, a 12-year-old grade 4 pupil at Kayeye Primary School, went out with a group of friends on February 9th to watch a local football match at a neighboring school. When evening came, the other children returned home, but Catherine was nowhere to be seen, prompting her parents to begin searching for her. The family discovered the body of Catherine abandoned in a thicket just a few meters from their home. And Joy Oduor, father to the minor, said the body was in terrible condition with limbs dismembered and some parts allegedly eaten by dogs.
Ile alikuwa amevaa ilikuwa ni hapa. Mama yao ndiye alikuwa amevaa yawa wakati mwingine ya Christmas moja. Kuenda kule nikapata sweta yake. Na hizo ndio ilifanya nijue ni yeye.
Huyu mtoto mwenye aliuawa ama aliokotwa kama ameuawa kichakani ni mtoto wa dada yangu. Mimi ninahuzunika kabisa kwa kitendo kama hichi na ninakilani kwa njia ya juu sana. Tena ninaomba serikali waingilie kati kusaidia familia kupata haki yao. Haswa wale wauaji wa huyu mtoto, ningeomba kama tutasikia serikali wamewafikia na wamewanasa, wametiwa mbaroni.
Huyo mtoto mwenye alipotea mwenye anaitwa Catherine Akinyi ni dada yangu, na nilipata ripoti yake tarehe 6 nikiwa nyumbani kwangu ati amepotea. Babangu aliniuliza kwa ajili huwa anakuwa mtoto upande wangu sana. Aliniuliza Kathy ni kama amepotea hapa jioni, alitoka kitu kama saa 11 akielekea Nyagondo kuona mpira.
Nilikuwa na huzuni sana kama mtoto wa miaka 12 peke yake. Anaweza uliwa kama umbwa mpaka ache kichakani. Amebaki mafupa, ilinishinda hata vile niongee. Ndio walijaribu vile wanaweza. Wakatukatoa body, nikapeleka na babangu Siaya. Sasa mimi Kenya naweza omba kwa serikali. Hao vijana wanatembea na wanaongea na watoto wadogo wenye bado hawajiwezi. Waangalie vile wanaweza fanya. Tunataka justice, watusaidie kwa ajili si kitu mzuri. Ujui ya kesho tena watachukua mtoto mgani na watamchukulia wapi?
We condole with the family and hope that justice will be served soon and the perpetrators will be brought to book. Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula led a delegation of members of parliament in visiting the Nairobi home of the former Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati to offer their heartfelt condolences to his family following his passing. Chebukati, who played a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's electoral landscape, having presided over 3 elections, including the repeat 2017 presidential election, was widely respected for his unwavering fidelity to the Constitution, the rule of law, and democratic principles. His legacy remains firmly etched in the country's history. During the visit, Speaker Wetangula paid tribute to Chebukati's leadership, emphasizing the weight of responsibility he carried as head of the country's electoral body.
The calling of his office made him realize that the discharge of his duty was not physical. It was legal, it was intellectual, it was constitutional. And he left it there. That is the good man that we are seeing off very soon.
Ambaye naongelewa, Mheshimiwa Bukosa aliongelea, sisi kutafuta upape kwa matanga. Hii kitu tuachane nayo. Tuwe watu ambaye tunaheshimika kama wabunge.
Cabinet Secretary for Interior Kipchumba Murkomen held a meeting this morning with the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Martha Koome. The discussions centered on collaboration on the implementation of instant traffic fines to improve safety on the roads and decongest the courts. The CS also apprised the Chief Justice of the steps the ministry is taking to strengthen the Judiciary Police Unit. Leaders and members of the ruling party of UDA, Bungoma branch, have called on fellow leaders within the party to work as a unit. Speaking in Bungoma at the offices of the UDA party, they asked leaders to forge ahead despite differences in opinion amongst members. The rallying call comes amidst fears of divisions within the party in the region.
Na tulikuwa tunaomba kwamba wanachama waje wajumuike pamoja na sisi ili tuchague viongozi ambao wataendelea kushikilia chama. Na tulikuwa tunaomba kwamba viongozi waje pamoja ili waweze kufanya nini? Waweze kusaidia chama. Sisi kama Bungoma, chama cha UDA kiko imara. Licha ya kuwa na malumbano kidogo lakini chama kiko imara, na tunasihi kwamba wanachama wetu wasife moyo. Sisi tunaendelea kuwa na mikakati kama chama, kuanzia afisi kuu mpaka kule chini. Tunaendelea kuwa na activities ambazo zinaenda kuhamasisha vijana wetu, wa mama, kina mama mboga na wazee kwamba chama kinawajali. Na pia ningependa kuambia viongozi wetu wote wa magharibi wakuje pamoja.
Tarehe 11 mwezi wa 4 uchaguzi wa chama utaendelea. Na ile tu nilikuwa naomba watu ni kwamba wanachama wajitokeze, waparticipate katika hii process. Na chama sisi tunajua iko imara na itaendelea kuimarika kupitia kwa huu uchaguzi. Asanteni sana.
Tuko na Women League hapa hivi katika chama ya UDA Bungoma, miradi iletwe kwa ajili yao. Tuko na Youth League, miradi iletwe kwa ajili yao, na pia tuweze kupata zile programs ambazo zina promote chama chetu na kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunaposonga mbele chama hiki kinazidi kupata umaarufu na kinakuwa tayari kwa sababu ya uchaguzi ambao utakuja mwaka 2027.
Tunataka watu ambao wenyewe tutawakuza, alafu tukue na mwongozo kwa rais wetu na tumpeane mwelekeo wa chama vile vile.
At that point, allow us to take a quick break. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines across the country. Stay with us.
On our previous engagements, we continue to improve on them. We are still open to more improvements so that we can make it easier and affordable for you to market your investment. We recognize that we put in a lot of resources to invest in those facilities, in the business that you are running. And our role as a destination marketing agency is to bring down the cost of doing business and to de-risk your investment and make your marketing budgets even lower.
The reason why we go to ITV and any other exhibition or conference is basically, one, to do business, to expand. Because tourism cannot flourish. Tourism in itself is actually a business venture. Because if you look at all the components of tourism, whether you are looking at accommodation facilities, whether you are looking at conference facilities, whether you are looking at tour companies, whether you are looking at even others which are airlines, still related to tourism.
The trade is ready. We are all geared to sell Kenya. We are going to complement each other and not to compete, because Kenya is our country and we are all happy to be in this country. The trade is looking forward to have more guests come to Kenya, because we understand that tourism is a major economy player in this country. So it is our hope that we are going to seal deals. We are going to make good relationships.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has said that the time was ripe for the world to confront the enduring legacies of colonialism, address the contemporary manifestations, and build a more just world. Mudavadi, also the Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Cabinet Secretary, said that Kenya reaffirmed its commitment to advocating for marginalized groups, particularly in the face of rising xenophobia, Afrophobia, and racial discrimination. Speaking during the opening of the 58th session of the Human Rights Council at the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, Mudavadi said, as the current chair, rapporteur of the Intergovernmental Working Group on the Durban Declaration, Kenya was dedicated to combating racism and related intolerance, welcoming the second International Decade for People of African Descent and its focus on reparatory justice and development.
The wars in Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Libya, Gaza, Lebanon, Ukraine, Haiti, Myanmar are some of the notable examples of crises, including Africa's forgotten conflicts. They have been spoken to earlier by other speakers. Kenya continues its active engagement in peace initiatives, both regional and internationally, including in DRC, Sudan, Somalia, and Haiti, among others, because we recognize that sustainable peace is linked to the protection and promotion of human rights. As such, there's a compelling need to fully incorporate human rights considerations in the peace missions and general conflict resolution mechanisms. We believe the Council's work is more vital than ever before, serving as a critical platform for addressing human rights abuses, which are often both a cause and a consequence of conflict. Mr. President, we believe that despite significant challenges, multilateralism remains our most viable option.
Conflicts like the war in Ukraine exact a heavy toll on people, a toll on fundamental principles like territorial integrity, sovereignty, and the rule of law, and a toll on the vital business of this Council. Without respect for human rights, civil, cultural, economic, political, and social, sustainable peace is a pipe dream.
All right, that marks the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you are up to date with what is making headlines across the country. We'll be keeping tabs with various news stories as well tomorrow. And do join Fred Njiri on Morning Live beginning 7 a.m. Thank you for watching tonight. Our sign language interpreter is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Good night. God bless.